Time has no relevance. Stopped are the hands of clock. Transverse through time and space. The masses gather in a flock. Standing in the middle, one man with his hand on his utility belt. Leading us into our verbal battle today, we've got the one and only harbinger of webs, ropes, and all things sticky, Juan, Hero Gamers. Standing as our captain and holding the shield of hope, Austin, Trackshot 117. Breaking down barriers, walls, castles, and hearts, the invincible Vinny, Mr. Fluffy Wuffykins. And the man who seeks not revenge, but justice, but's gonna get revenge because his bitch ass isn't here tonight. We've got Bryce, Sketchography. And I'm Drake. I'm Lord Cummington, and I'm about to Stan Lee you through today's stream. We're talking about Marvel movies, upcoming and maybe past if we get there. And yeah, guys, how about let's start with Black Panther, just because it came out recently. Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, let's start.
So, has everyone seen it?
I have.
Before we spoil anything?
Oh yeah, hey,
yeah,
spoilers, just in case anyone
Major
has.
spoilers.
Yeah, mega, spoilers. But we'll see
Probably
how
should get that in the title as spoiler warning.
Roger,
You'll
copy.
always get somebody to bitch about it.
Okay,
Alright.
right. So now that everyone's seen it, what are you guys' thoughts on it?
I liked it.
I liked it. Overall, I liked it. I feel like there was a lot of like social, I feel like a lot of people were inferring a lot of social commentary in it, when I guess you could have, but I didn't see that. Like, to me, it was right along with the comics. Like, I feel like it just happens to be at that time in the world that, all the social injustices are going on and everything like that. I don't feel like the movie was made to necessarily be a commentary on that. I think they just
I did not like
to
how there was
align
one white
with-
dude in there. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
100% joke.
But I mean, it's one of those things. Like, if it was a cast of full white people, like, it wouldn't be Black Panther. You're looking at Iron Man now, or fucking Aquaman in Africa. You know what I mean? Like, the hero is African, and like that's where his kingdom is, and all that stuff. So you should definitely have him play the part of that.
Absolutely. No, I definitely thought that was one of my favorite Marvel movies. And I'm not a Marvel guy, right? I'm straight up DC. And I think Austin can get me with that one. But no, I definitely thought that was one of the best, one of the more, I guess, better, for lack of better terms, better Marvel movie. It had a plot.
Yeah.
It had a storyline. It definitely kept me engaged instead of, fighting 100% of the time like Iron Man. Or like crude humor
exactly.
when it was supposed to be. Or forcing it. Yeah, or forcing the jokes almost. Because that's Tony Stark's persona. However, then you get Black Mystery over here, Black Panther, and yeah, like I said, I just thought it was a well done movie.
Yeah.
I feel like
and it had some humor too.
Oh, it was humorous.
Like the sneakers joke, I still laugh
That was
about
hilarious. That was hilarious.
Awesome.
But they didn't force it. They didn't force it on people or try and make jokes when jokes should not have been present. Because I've definitely seen a lot
They
of
also
movies.
had
Marvel
a
movies,
very,
basically. For
had
the
a very
past.
well developed bad guy this time. It wasn't somebody that was like, oh, I'm evil and I'm the bad guy. Kind of like Iron Man 3, you just felt like the bad guy
Right.
just because he was a bad guy. This guy, he had reasoning. Wasn't just some dude. Was a dude with a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a true origin story. I love that. And I thought Michael B. Jordan nailed that part. He was fantastic.
Which one's he? Is he the villain?
He's
The bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't do names.
It's good. It's good.
Why
I
would
only
you do
know
it?
it because he is now like my ideal body type. He's the reason I work out. That's how I like to look.
Dude, I work out so I can
I've
eat
seen
tacos and not feel bad about myself. When I eat like 17 of
You
them.
guys
You guys
seen
noticed that the only
anything-
two white people in the movie are Smeagol and And what's his name? Bobo? Bilbo?
Bilbo, yeah, I saw that. I thought that was great too. And the director directed Lord of the Rings too, right? Something like that. Something. There's another connection in there.
Anyways, what were you saying, Austin?
Yeah, sorry.
Have you guys seen anything about, like, everybody's claiming that T'Challa's little sister is basically like the next Disney princess?
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't read any
I've
of
seen
that.
fan art everywhere of like them being like, yeah, she's the next Black Disney princess. And she's really kind of like taken on her own like thing, whereas like before, like, yeah, you got the superhero, but you know, his sister and like, and there's so many more badass people that aren't necessarily the superpowered people in this movie.
Hold on, I got a question. So when you say next Disney princess, like she's gonna get her own spin-off, or like,
Or is she like the
doing her currently?
Or is she the Disney princess of Marvel movies?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just want some
kind of.
clarification. Like, what do you mean?
Come on. So, you know how they put the girl from Brave in as a Disney princess?
Right.
Okay, yes.
This girl is like a legitimate princess.
Oh,
And
I see. Like
it's just a thing
yeah.
owned by Marvel. And it's
You're
Oh,
talking
well,
about
yeah.
the
I feel like
cartoon
that's just an
Disney princesses.
inferred thing,
I
though.
know,
Like,
but this one's like somebody real.
I feel like that's
Gotcha,
along the same lines as saying Bilbo and the Smeagol are in Marvel Universe. You know what I mean? Like, that is a thing that is true, but I feel like it's not, like, it's just a fact. It's not anything more to be read into.
Yeah,
Me,
but
anyway.
also, it's one of those things like fan theories and like, I don't know if you ever heard of like shipping, that kind of stuff. It's just something
yeah.
that people are putting out there, and this one's actually a princess that's fucking smart and badass, and you have like a great role model for little kids.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's true to the character, though. She is a princess and, like, everything. Because I feel like the conversation would be... How can I say that? I feel like the conversation would be the same even if she wasn't a part of the Disney universe, you know? Like, I feel like they would still say that she's a very strong role model for young girls, but instead of... They just say that. She's a good role model, you know, smart, strong, and young and everything. But the fact that it's owned by Disney, you can just throw that she's a Disney princess on there. So yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Let's talk about the special effects in that movie, though.
Oh my god.
Dude, it was...
It was probably all CGI, but we
Dude,
didn't
I don't even
notice
care.
because
It was...
done well.
Dude, it doesn't
was
matter, it
done
looked
well.
good. I did not like Killmonger's suit. I don't like when the villain has the exact same suit as the hero, just like a different color or like a little bit more aggressive looking. I'm not a fan of that. I like it when they have their own look, their own little style and everything.
Really?
But I did like the way the suit looked, but as far as like my preference, well, that's the exact same thing. Like, you guys, I don't know. I just feel like
You
they
don't-
could have gotten a little
Do you
bit more
not
creative
see
with
why
it.
they did that?
No, I totally see why. I just feel like it's a lazy way out of it.
No, they did it as a way to show you that there's two sides to the same story, right? There's two
Yeah.
different ways that he could have chosen to be king. And it's literally a mirror in your face of, oh, yes, these people killed my father. Now I'm going to go to war. Or,
But you
"We
can
need
do
to
that
help
without
these
making
people."
it fucking yellow.
Is that your complaint? Is it's yellow, or that it's just that it's the exact same suit?
I mean, I would have
So
been
it's
cool
the
with it
exact
being
same
like
suit
blue.
like
for
this.
a reason.
What about the gorilla guy? Like that, he would have. If he was the main villain, he would have had like a gorilla-based suit, right? And I just feel like
Oh,
it would have
no,
been
no,
a
no,
little
it's
bit better than
because-
that. But I do see what you're saying.
Right, it's the same suit also, you know, not just because, you know, two sides, but they're also part of the same tribe. Right?
Yeah.
You're talking
I mean,
about
it's
how
all
if the
like-
gorilla dude was it, well, you know, he's not part of the
'Cause he's in a
the
different
Black Panther tribe, right? And Austin can correct me if I'm wrong, but like since he is part of the Black Panther tribe, therefore he gets the Black Panther armor, and I guess that's why they made him have another set. Or like, you kind of see where I'm getting from?
I totally see it. I'm not disagreeing with you guys.
Because he's keen, he has to use the Black Panther. See,
Oh,
I just
right,
feel like
that
they
is-
could have done a little bit more with it because he's got like a military background. Like, they could have changed it a little bit more than they did. So it's not necessarily that it's a panther or anything like that that gets me. It's that it was the exact same thing with teeth.
Rar. Gotcha.
Oop,
Okay, that
sorry.
makes
Oh.
sense.
So you wanted it to be like either even more elaborate or something?
Yeah, just like a little
Literally
bit
not
more
the
because
same.
he's definitely a lot more layers than T'Challa does. I mean, he's a fucking war veteran and everything. Like, you know, he went around he scarred his body, but you didn't see any of that when he had the suit on. And I feel like maybe that's what I want a little bit more out of is like show the character as because he's so much different than him. You know, I feel like it's not fair to put him in the exact same thing with teeth when he should have like even a little bit more something to it, like spikes or hell, I don't even know what else you could do. Just like something a little bit more. I'm no artist, so I can't describe it to you. But I just feel like the suits are pretty much the
Let's see.
same when the characters are vastly different. But I do get the comparison. You know, two sides of the same story and all that. I just wanted him to be a little different.
Forced. It was a way of showing that T'Challa had to look at himself in a mirror, right? He's literally fighting himself. And
But why?
going into the different paths, the path of the war or the path of peace. It is literally him going into becoming the king. This entire thing is about him becoming the king and deciding what to do with his country.
I guess that makes sense then.
But he wanted to help people from the beginning, didn't he?
I don't think at first he did, just
You
because.
remember Civil War? The first thing he was after was revenge for his father's death, and he was going after the other guy, the Winter Soldier, for it. And then at the end of the movie is when he was like, when he captured the other guy that actually killed his father, is when Billy showed mercy. This entire movie is basically an inner clash between himself and like having to choose his people over so on and so forth, right?
I can
Am I
see
just
that.
off
I just
in
feel
the-
like it wasn't.
No.
I feel like it wasn't that much of a conflict between himself. You know, I feel like he was just young and had some vengeance, but I feel like it wasn't. I mean, you can infer that. I feel, but I feel like if that's what they wanted, they didn't really portray it enough or
Well-
put enough emphasis on it that that's what it was. That it was more of an inner struggle with him because it seemed more like he was king for a second, and then you know the new challenger came, and then it was just like he wasn't king and had to get his kingdom back, and then you know save it from.
But when he
Save the
was
world.
king, he failed. He literally failed his friend, and then having to look himself in the face and see somebody who did what he said he was going to do, literally did what he said he was going to do, bring the body back, right?
Yep.
So he had to look at somebody who did it, who was literally the
Better.
opposite of him and would do anything that it would take to do whatever.
I just
Could
don't
you-
see
so then
like
with that-
the
with
big
that,
inner
right?
struggle you're going for.
So if you're thinking that, right, could you almost think like a Spider-Man Venom type thing? Right? Because they're basically almost the same thing. Almost the exact same suit and powers and shit. Just
Just two sides of the same story.
right. Or like Spider-Man 3. Where he almost
Oh,
becomes
Tobey
Venom.
Maguire, heartthrob.
Yeah, like half chub, right?
Tobey Maguire will always be my Spider-Man.
So,
although
so
I
then what do you
like
what do you guys
Andrew
think of that
Garfield.
then? Is that like a good comparison?
I feel like so. I mean, cause it's like a similar story, you know. You've got it comes down to like the beginnings, like where these people started out.
I can see it, but I'm gonna say that Black Panther was a much better movie than the third
Well,
one.
yeah.
Than the third
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire movie.
No, but
I
Tobey
mean, I love
Maguire's
Tobey
Bay.
Maguire, but I only like it for a novelty reason. As far as the movies go, the first one was great. I feel like he changed the world with the first Spider-Man. He and the rest of the people involved in that movie. I feel like there weren't very many superhero movies of that type of caliber before they did that one, but they were terrible, absolutely awful.
Now
That's
we're talking
why
about
those-
his acting is the best acting that I have ever seen. That's a
Tobey
joke.
Maguire?
Sarcasm?
That was a joke.
You understand? I don't understand sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm?
I feel like there's lots you don't understand,
Yeah.
such as the general population of the world. Speaking of that, to make my point here, I was texting Austin today and I said, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm working on airplane stuff," and I was like, "Great, what is it?" And he went through and essentially gave me a giant scientific equation as to what he was doing. And I was like, "All right, Google, here we go. Let's save the day here so I can have a conversation with this guy."
Yeah, I was going for. Oh, if I just said, yeah, I'm working on airplanes. Oh, what are you doing with airplanes? Oh, I'm
Airplane
trying
stuff.
to figure out how much lift I need for this thing to fly. Just give me the same answer, but if I put in a few more words there, it sounds like I'm actually doing something a lot more difficult than
He's
probably
done
I'd
what we
perceive
call
anyways.
engineerified a statement.
That's exactly what he does, and he does it with everything.
Gotcha.
It's
So
great.
now that we kind of got
Part
like
of the reasons that I
our
love him.
right, I know we gotta love that kid. Such a goober. But anyways, so now that we kind of got off our pros and cons of why we like or dislike Black Panther and or the suits, which guy's favorite Marvel movie?
Deadpool.
Oh yes.
Oh,
100%
that's-
Deadpool.
Okay, like, are we going with Marvel in general or cinematic universe? Because either way, my answer is
Marvel
the
in
same.
general.
I'd have to
Cinematic
say,
universe.
damn it, I have a couple that are tied for first, and it's either Iron Man 1 or Captain America Winter Soldier.
Phenomenal.
Captain
movies. Love them
America
both.
2.
So why do you choose Iron Man 1?
Great movies.
It was very, like, it brought us into the Marvel universe.
It was
right?
the
Marvel
original,
Universe
the OG.
movie.
The OG. Yep.
As an engineer, it kind of like inspired me to be like, oh, if I could make a suit like that, that would be awesome. Or like, just try and push the boundaries of whatever. I don't know. It was just a badass movie, and it was in one of those times of my life that it really meant something to me. It was like when we were going from high school into like college and that kind of time.
Right. I like it.
And Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, such a good
That
movie.
was such a good movie.
They.
And it proved my point that every movie is funded by somebody, is funded by a different car company, and every major car in Captain America Winter Soldier was a Chevy. Captain America,
yeah.
he has to be sponsored by an American company.
Well, of course. I mean, they're all gonna do that. That's just a sales thing. What?
Yeah, fuck
was
them
it,
Japanese.
Audi
Black Panther. Who
did
do they have in Black Panther?
That was, crap, Lexus.
Wasn't it, I was about to say, wasn't it
paid
Lexus?
for
That one,
Black
Lexus.
Panther.
Cool. Juan, what's
There's a
your
lot
favorite?
of, like,
What's your favorite
product
Marvel?
placement.
Well, if we're going with cinematic universe,
So what's the difference
Wolverine is part of
between
it, right?
cinematic universe and not? I'm a noob.
Tobey Maguire was not in the Marvel Cinematic. Amazing Spider-Man was not in the cinematic universe. Deadpool, X-Men, ones that were owned originally by Fox and Sony, kind
So
of
then-
aren't in the universe.
So then, what makes it? I guess I'm still like a little confused. Like, what makes it like cinematic versus non-cinematic, other than just like a
They-
brand?
they all
Yeah,
tie
whoever
in
owns
together.
it, literally that.
Well, isn't the Amazing Spider-Man part of the original?
Which
Avengers?
Spider-Man showed up in the Avengers?
The
Which
Amazing
movie was
Spider-Man.
that?
That was Homecoming. Homecoming Spider-Man.
You mean
Showed up
Civil
in the
War?
Avengers.
But
Civil
wasn't
War.
that the amazing?
Or
Oh
Civil
yeah,
War,
that's
you're
right. Yeah. Okay, I see. I
No.
see. I forgot
That is
they
not
made.
the same actor.
No. I forgot they made 3 different type of Spider-Man movies. Right, got it. On point.
Yeah,
I
there's
forgot
one young
forgot
guy in
they
there who just
made-
got forgotten.
Right, the Amazing
I can't
Spider-Man.
believe they made Aunt May young and hot. It was like, really?
Yeah, you
Aunt
got the-
May's,
you got
who? In Homecoming, is she hot? I can't remember.
Yeah.
the- Oh God, yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
she's
know
the hot
that
But
one.
she's not
the
that hot
actress-
in the one that we don't even. I don't even know the name of it. The one
Tobey
we haven't
Maguire.
mentioned.
Usually she's like 80 or 60s, something like that, and she's just an old biddy. But this one, she's like mid 30s, late 40s, right?
Yeah,
she's
dude.
kind of
Well,
hot.
it's the redhead, isn't it?
No.
No.
Aunt. We're talking about
She's a
Aunt May.
brunette.
But
Yeah.
no, she's a redhead in something else. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, she's hot. But I want to know what the Aunt May looked like in the one in between Tobey Maguire and.
The Amazing
Andrew
Spider-Man?
Garfield.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
like an old biddy.
Yeah.
I believe she was
Was
still
she?
an old
She's
biddy.
real old.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
However, I
That's
will
why I don't
I will
remember her.
give the Amazing Spider-Man to Emma Stone because she is amazing.
See.
Yeah.
I will give her
That's
that.
I also
right.
like that they went with the comics they went stuck to the comics real well with that one. Gwen Stacy dying like that was straight out of the comics.
Which
Yeah.
is good,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what I'm liking about most of these Marvel movies and superhero movies in general is they're not trying to what's the word, fuck it up, right?
Tobey Maguire, you mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For lack of better term.
Hey,
That
so
was
Tobey-
there was no connection with that at all. I just wanted to say it. But yeah, I like how they're staying true because a lot of the previous movies they wouldn't. I mean, it was like totally different. Like the Deadpool,
Yeah.
for example, in the Wolverine Origins movie.
That was funny.
Yeah. That was dumb. God,
I'll be honest.
That Origins movie was terrible. Fucking fuck. Xavier was out of his goddamn wheelchair.
And see, and that's
Which,
why we're sticking to Marvel.
and
Oh wait, no, that is Marvel.
yeah, so that was
Oh,
Fox,
that's
and now
great.
Fox is owned by Disney.
Yeah,
At least
that's right.
Fox Movies is owned by Disney, so I'm wondering if they're going to try and pull them all together, if they're going to do like a thing after Infinity Wars where the entire world kind of gets blasted by some kind of like beam or something, and like it
A Fox
causes
beam.
mutations to start happening, so that
T.
like you start getting the guy that's Wolverine, but then the problem is then you would just get the newer ones. You don't want you
The
can't have
originals.
somebody that's like Wolverine or like Xavier or Magneto, especially Magneto, because then unless they did something where it completely altered history, and I don't think they want to go with that. That would be
They've
a
done
really
that.
good way of doing like a reboot. But they haven't done that. They haven't done anything where they gone back in time and changed anything.
No, they did that. They what did they do? It was one of the recent X-Men ones, the one before Apocalypse, where they
God
went
damn
back
it, that
in
was
time.
X-Men, not Marvel. That was Fox, not Disney.
No, but I'm just saying that now that they're owned, they have definitely done that. You just said that, right? They're owned, but I'm
Yes,
just
but
saying
it's
they
not in the
rebranded
same
it once
cinematic
before, so it's
universe.
possible.
And see,
In the
that's what,
Marvel
and that's
Cinematic
what's
Universe,
crazy.
They haven't ever gone back.
And that's what's crazy is they have
Right.
so many different universes and so many different side things. It's hard to keep up with all this unless you stay true to it. Like Austin.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just saying that it's like an easy way out is involve time travel, and then you reset everything. You can change it all.
Yeah.
And I was just using
Then
that
you
as an
could have
example.
a,
You're right; they haven't done it, but it's a way for them to do it.
Yeah, I
Why
can
are
see
you
that
green?
doing a reboot or a restart if they wanted to just.
Austin, make your flag
you.
twitch. Quit being a homo.
I'm working on it.
Let's see here. What's my
Unity
favorite
flags.
Marvel movie? I did enjoy the Thor series, mainly because I love
Thor.
like Valhalla and all that like Viking lore shit. I love it. You know, like the show Vikings. I love that show, and just how they're. Yeah, all that lore and stuff is fascinating to me. So I think the Thor series is definitely my favorite.
Chris Hemsworth. Great. Great.
That also
great.
helps.
I
And
thought Thor
also
was
his
good, too.
girlfriend.
It
How
also,
I was gonna say, and also it helps that his girlfriend is kind of looks like the hell's her name, Natalie Portman. So I'm like, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
plus. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I
Then
thought it
she.
was Natalie.
wasn't it Natalie in the first one?
It was Natalie in the
It
first one.
was. In one of the big kissing scenes, Natalie wasn't there for it, so Chris was like, he came up to Chris and they're like, "Hey, so here's 3 girls. Which one do you want to kiss? It doesn't really matter." And he's like, "My wife's around the corner." And they're like, "Oh, she got dark hair? Fuck yeah. Okay, cool." So he ends up the big major kiss in the end of the movie was him kissing his wife. So I thought that was an interesting random ass fact from.
Them poor girls are just like, oh, he's like, oh, who am I gonna kiss? And they're like, fuck you. I don't want to kiss you.
If I must.
Bitch, you don't know
They're
me.
like, fucking Thor.
Right. Bitch, you don't know me. So Drake, why is
that's
Deadpool
great.
your favorite movie? What do you like about
So
Deadpool?
Deadpool, I will probably get roasted if I tell this to anybody other than you guys. And you guys, you're more than welcome to roast me.
Oh my God! Please say
So-
that your favorite actor is Ryan Reynolds.
Oh no, I mean I feel like there's a lot of people who can say that. I do love Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is
Alright,
my
let's
number
hear it.
2 on the celebrities I would want to fuck list right after Christian Bale.
Ooh.
Um,
That's for a different stream,
but-
ladies and gentlemen.
that's for a different stream. So
We already do that.
I was
We already did
super
that.
into.
Go back to week 3. We did that.
We did that. We did that. But I mean, who's to say that we shouldn't have another one? I mean, my list hasn't changed, but maybe I've updated the facts.
Ooh. Okay.
You never know.
Anyways, continue.
Never know. So when I was a kid, I was super into ninjas, and I want to say Deadpool debuted right around '98, and I don't know. That's about the first time I got a computer and connected to the internet. So I was surfing the web. I was like, I need a favorite superhero because, you're 5 or whatever, and you need that. And I came across, the Marvel Wiki or something like that, and it said, Deadpool, and it had X-Men, and it went through. But I really liked the way Deadpool looked, so that was what got my attention about him. But I didn't ever really have comics because we didn't have a comic book store or any of that, so I didn't know anything about him. But then I started looking stuff up, because the age of the internet, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And then I slowly just started to find out that he would break the fourth wall, and this is early 2000s, and I'm like, wow, Deadpool's this guy's the shit. This is my man. But I was still real young and I didn't know a lot about him, and so when he appeared in Wolverine, the Origins, he I think
One
he
that
got,
shall not
one-
be named.
Yeah. He got one line, and then they called him the Merc with a Mouth, and I was like, okay, that's weird. Who are these people? This is such a strange concept to me. And I didn't realize until after that he was supposed to be Deadpool when I looked at the IMDb. And so I was so confused about it because I was like, this isn't anything like the hero that I wanted. This is nothing that I know. So I was looking through everything, trying to find out where Deadpool got fucking sword hands and started looking like the guy from Mortal Kombat. And it just confused me for a long time, and then everything started coming out about how it was terrible and not true to nature or anything like that, but that was a long tangent. What was the question? Why do I like Deadpool?
Yes.
Movie.
First of all, I love Ryan Reynolds, and then second, it's fairly true to the comics. I mean, they got his attitude, I thought, perfect, and
He was born to play
that's-
Deadpool, right?
He
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Ryan
I mean,
Reynolds is
Ryan Reynolds has
Deadpool.
been Wade Wilson his entire life.
I don't know. He's
just
kind
hot
of the Green
instead of-
Lantern right now too.
I mean, Green Lantern, we don't count that. But have you guys seen Van Wilder? That is a movie about Deadpool in college. That is literally what that movie is.
I have not. I might have to check that out.
Look it up. I think I mentioned it on last week's stream or whatever,
I think you
because it
did.
was based on
Yeah.
Burt Kreischer. But Ryan Reynolds, great.
I shot
Look
one.
it up. And I just loved everything about Deadpool. I loved the cussing. I loved that it was rated R.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna go see it if it wasn't rated R. And then
Yeah.
it's just got everything you need. The masturbation jokes, everything. The little one-liners.
I'm gonna touch myself tonight.
Are you there, God? It's me, Mary, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's
good.
like bleeding everywhere. It's just it's a great movie. Everything about that movie I could go on forever.
Thing's gonna be like huge in my hand.
So I'm gonna
Oh.
change the topic a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
for it.
go
Yeah, what do you got,
into Wolverine, as in that's my favorite superhero movie.
All right.
Which one?
The newer one.
Okay.
Logan? Dude,
Logan.
such a good
Yeah,
movie.
okay.
Such a good movie.
With X-23.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that one too. It was really great.
did.
Good.
I guess
I liked how
Deadpool
mortal
is
they made
also,
him.
also in that movie too, sort of. They kind of
Is he?
reference
No,
him.
that was a trailer. That isn't the movie. It's a trailer.
Aw.
So.
But now
Juan
that they
also
bought
really likes
Fox-
the noir version. That goddamn movie. Which I can't see it.
Aw.
Why can't you see it?
Wait, what?
I don't know. I tried watching the noir version, and it's just like, okay, I get it. It's black and white. It's supposed to have a different feel to it, and it's supposed to feel like one of those old timey like cowboy movies, like they've been watching in a movie. But
Okay.
I don't know. Just would you, you have self-driving trucks in a black and white movie, and it's just like, oh, okay.
This is interesting.
Right.
So what else makes you like that one?
I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
Well, the black and white, I own it, and I watched it by myself, and I thought it just made it a completely different movie to me. And I understand that, this technology and all that kind of made it feel like, okay, it's black and white.
Really, they
and
made it
there's
black and
no-
white?
Yeah,
That's what we've been
that's what
talking about,
noir
the noir
stands
version.
for.
Dude, yeah,
Well,
okay.
Fluffy just learned something new today.
Cool.
This is a learning experience for us all.
But it was also his last movie, and I think he just really tried to make it a great movie, his acting and everything, because it was his last time of him being the Wolverine. And,
Well, I feel like Hugh Jackman's always showed up to that part. Like, I don't think he's
Yeah.
ever mailed it in, so to speak.
A mail-in order.
That's what
yeah,
they say, right?
I'm
when you
not
go to
saying
work
I'm
and
not
don't-
saying
not
like
working.
his other works and other Wolverine movies aren't bad, but this one I just feel like he.
It connected to me more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say
I'll totally
this:
agree with that. I think this was his best one, too.
in the other movies where they have Wolverine, Wolverine isn't bad, but those other movies are bad. Like X-Men 3,
I
that was
will-
bad.
Also agree with that.
Freaking, what was the one where he decided to go to like Japan? That was bad.
That was the
That was literally
X-Men,
Wolverine. No, that was just Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Where he fights
dumb.
the female.
Yeah, I heard that was terrible,
The
so
girl version?
I didn't even go and see it.
That was bad, too.
I was like, oh, I'll buy this movie for $10 and watch it with my friends.
And you were like, Walmart return.
Immediately, yeah, immediately regretted it. But guess who fucking loved it? Dennis, that goddamn idiot.
Kid's a fucking idiot.
Who?
I
Oh,
liked it.
Dennis? I bet Dennis did love that.
I
Let me
liked
give a
it.
little background for our listener about who Dennis is.
Oh, Dennis.
Dennis is our lost puppy.
Little pickles.
Dennis is the boy that you feel bad for him. It's like, oh, honey, you know, that kind of person. That's Dennis.
Like how you called him a little boy.
Little
'Cause
Pickles?
It's true. It's so true. Little pickles.
Pickle.
Oh.
Yeah, Dennis is he's something else.
Love the kid to death,
you-
but god damn it, Dennis.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, no, that's a good one. So, kind of coming off of, Drake's little favorite man crush half chub for Deadpool. What do you guys think of the upcoming Marvel movies?
Yeah, we haven't even got there yet.
Let's
What I
talk
know.
about which ones are coming out.
Which one's next? Infinity War? Is that where we're at?
Infinity War is out,
Yeah.
or coming out.
27th of April is when Infinity War comes out. They're releasing it like an hour or a week early now.
Yeah,
Was it
I saw that.
27th of April?
Very nice.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the May 4th, and then they're like, hey, so we're moving it up a week.
Yeah.
They did it like a whole thing with Robert Downey Jr. where they're like, so tweet us and ask if you can see the movie early. And like he said, so he tweets them like, hey, can I see the movie early? And they're like, yeah, how about on the 27th of April? And he's like, with friends? And he's like, yeah, the entire world can watch it on the 27th of April. It was like one half-assed way of like doing it, but it was pretty nifty. Not sure
Why
if
do you
that's
think that-
exactly how it went down. Why move it
Well,
up?
like, why? This is the first time that I have heard of a movie being bumped up for release date. So why does anyone know why they did that?
I'm gonna go with it's probably a better release date for like, it's probably something for they're gonna make more money, or because they already have it done or whatever, they can move it up and they just want to make back their money for the movie earlier. I'm not sure.
Maybe they don't want to compete with other movies coming out that week. Who knows?
It's Marvel, they don't have to compete, they're going to win. No, that's kind of like conceded, but yeah.
I mean,
Black Panther was released in February. They released Deadpool in February because they thought it was going to be a box office flop.
Austin, back out.
I thought they released
Yeah.
it because they did the damn.
Oh yeah, take your
marketing campaign
girlfriend
around it and
to.
everything.
Yeah, they did it because that's funny. Take your girlfriend to Deadpool for Valentine's Day. It was funny, but nothing gets released in February unless they think it's going to be a flop.
I'm going to fact
Deadpool
check
was
you.
yes, because Deadpool was one of the first major blockbuster movies released in that time to make so much goddamn money.
Gotcha. Juan, what do you think?
I mean, 50 Shades of Grey came out in February. Hannibal, the Lego movie, Passion of the Christ.
Okay, you know what, dude?
Yeah,
Shut the fuck
so
up.
have-
We're
have you
talking
seen
about Marvel.
Yeah, there's no other movies on that list that were half-assed decent.
No.
But yeah,
I don't know. I'm pretty excited though. Kind of later. I'm excited for Venom. I'm so happy that he's gonna have his own movie now.
Tom Hardy.
I don't know what they're gonna do with it.
It's gonna go
Honestly.
either one of two ways. It's either gonna be stupid good, and they're gonna kind of tie it into Spider-Man, or it's just gonna flop.
I could see it being a flop, but I could also see people like you being like, yeah, this is the first time we get a real anti-hero in the freaking Marvel universe.
Which
rather
then
than
opens
just-
the doors up for more anti-hero movies, right?
Yeah.
Like who? Hold on, let's continue that. Who else would you guys like to see?
Fucking Moon Knight, right?
Moon Knight would be a good one. Okay. Go on. I just want to hear. Look, just make a list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about my list. I can't think of many
That's the
anti-heroes.
list.
I'd like to see-
So which
They're
one
making
to
a
say
Black
is-
Widow movie too.
Are they?
In like 2020.
Good.
Hey, but it's upcoming and
Not that far off.
it's up and coming.
Yeah.
I like
You
to
know-
pretend that it's still 2009, but it's not.
I would like to see more of the original Spider-Man. I'd love to see more of his enemy movies, because you got what, Dr. Octopus. I'd love to hear his backstory. You got Rhino. You have Sandman.
God, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can make an entire trilogy on just the enemies of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Really
but then you
could.
go into the whole realm of Suicide Squad, and nobody wants to touch
Yeah.
that with a 20-foot pole.
But that's DC.
Yes, but come on, look at every character. There's basically, you got Iron Man as Batman, you got like people that are parallels in either universe, and they have had like, what is it, like a League of Villains in either universe, right?
But so I guess what I was getting at is like, look at who's making movies. What DC movies that fucking killed it?
Ah, okay, I get you.
You know what I mean? Like they're just two totally different companies and done different ways. Don't get me wrong, I love
And
DC.
Mar-
I
and Marvel
love
is not
DC. I love it.
not fucking up either.
They have not made a mistake once yet.
Yeah, but
Because
they're
they're
going
letting
to
the
have problems
creators-
real soon with trying to get people to be directors, because now you have this giant Marvel multiverse that you can't, like, oh, I want to do this. No, you can't do that because that would go against this movie 5-10 years back. And people will call us on that shit that, oh yeah, no, this can't be canon because of this,
Oh yeah, 100%.
so on and so forth.
You think that's
Wait,
gonna be a big
J.J.
problem, though? 'Cause
Abrams-
I feel like
Oh yeah.
J.J.
You-
Abrams has already been like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he's
Yeah,
fucking doing Star Wars. Bro.
Yeah, you think about it, you have fan bases. Like, people will die to watch movies and shit. And if they're not lined up, I mean, look at the kind of side note, Rick and Morty, right? The Szechuan sauce.
Oh my god.
Did
That
you
was
see the
ridiculous.
riots that almost happened because of fucking dipping sauce? Imagine what happened if one movie that got mass produced didn't line up.
But I feel like with so many comics, I feel like there's so many ways that they could line up, or different storylines that they could take. And
I know,
like,
but
I
I'm
feel like
meaning...
they're not-
and then this is where Austin
towards
goes
a
in the
dead
point
end.
of like it has to line up to it.
It doesn't have to line up in the future.
But does
the problem
it have
is
to?
calling back to the past. If there's a movie that, like, in the past they did something like the helicarrier got knocked down, if all of a sudden S.H.I.E.L.D. was back in the helicarrier, or S.H.I.E.L.D. was back in general, people would be furious and calling like, hey, what the fuck is this shit? No, you're not going back in the past. This is set in, like, the future. Where the fuck are you guys doing this? Right?
Yeah, but do you feel like they'd make a mistake like that? Because I feel like it's not. I don't want to say it's not.
I don't think they
I'm not-
will make a
I'm not
mistake.
saying
But I
that
feel
big
like
details.
they're smart. You've got a lot of people that are on board with something like this, and with so many crazy fans like we've been talking about, I feel like that's something that they're going to think about. Like, I feel like there needs to be a room of people like, hey guys, in whatever,
There
Captain
already
America
is.
2, we blew up the car.
Yeah.
What mistakes have
There
they
already
made?
is. They haven't. And that's the thing. They haven't. And so they
No,
can't
he's
fuck
just-
up.
Yeah, and that's all
So,
he's
like,
saying.
like,
who's
once we
to
get
say that they're
40
going to?
Once we get 30, 40 movies deep in this bitch, it's going to be nearly impossible it's going to get so much harder for people to write storylines
I
and
see
not
where
have
you're
them,
coming
like,
from.
contradict each other, that people aren't going to want to be a part of it. They're like, yeah, that's too much work. You can't have any creative freedom because you basically have already, like, lined out
They're-
the next 30 years of goddamn
They're in
movies.
shackles.
But like, that's what if they go a new character route though? Like,
See, and that's
Even
different.
then-
that's saying they're going to go
But
through
that's
40
different.
Captain America movies.
Yeah, but that's different. Like, what if someone wants to recreate a movie, or or pick off where one movie left off 15 years ago? Well, now they have to watch the old movies 15 years ago, and make sure everything lines up, because you know you're going to have the people who follow that shit religiously, and then once they find out one thing is off, oh, GG.
Come on, we're not even that big of fanatics, and we've all bitched about the freaking Wolverine Origins movie being shitty because it doesn't follow anything canonically. Oh, fucking
But I mean,
Xavier's
like,
out of his
that's
goddamn thing. Bullshit.
why we didn't like it, but like, I feel like they're not gonna make that type of mistake for that exact reason. You know, I feel like it would have happened now because they're going to look into all of those things.
I'm not saying that it would. I'm saying that there's going to get to a point where people don't want to be a part of this because they don't want to have to deal with having to go back and say, okay, so we can't do this because these other movies say that all this other shit has happened. We want to do this
Okay, let me
storyline,
ask you a
but
question.
because this person is dead now.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you millions of dollars to go back to college. Would you do it? The research you did.
Yeah, sure.
Millions
We'll
of
get
dollars.
We'll get a new goddamn degree.
There will be somebody else who will want to do that movie because of it being Marvel, because of, you know, its association with Disney or whoever it's associated with in the future. I don't think we're ever going to get into a time where they won't want to work with them because it is such a big universe and such a big fan base, and there's so many people behind it. Sure, we're not going to have, you know, Steven Spielberg or J.J. Abrams working with it, but there's tons of new talent coming out, and, you know, these people are going to be able to do their job, and they're going to be able to do it well. Like, whoever directed Deadpool, like, he was a fresh producer and everything. He hadn't done a whole lot before. Look how that turned
Okay.
out.
What about the point where we have to kill off all of our characters or have everybody that, like, freaking Robert Downey Jr. is just too goddamn old to be freaking Iron Man anymore.
But the producers of the current movies have even gone on to say that once Phase 4 is over, that they haven't even thought about it. Like, that's going to be the end of their universe, and, like, as far as they're concerned, that's the end. So they're going to go through and start killing a bunch of people. It's just a matter of someone else stepping up and taking the reins, so to speak, and how they're going to go about doing that without pissing people off is going to be a real task. But I just don't, I think they're going to be able to figure it out.
They're either going to wipe it and restart after Phase 4, or they're going to have to get one hell of a writing team, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I feel like it's, you know, something that's going to be doable. And I don't think they're ever going to run out of people to work with because of who it is, you know.
Right.
With us, fuck, people were going to run out of patience with us real quick.
Well,
Hey, what
what's
you
our
talking
next
about?
topic, Fluffy?
Well, I mean, we could continue to do upcoming Marvel movies you guys want. We still haven't talked about
What's
how
what
Infinity
else
Ward.
is coming up?
I mean, we got Infinity
Infinity
Wars.
Ward.
Yeah, we got Call of Duty, starring Iron Man as Soap.
Oh my god. That would be like, dear god.
Callback for sure.
That's another thing I'm super excited for is fucking Modern Warfare 2 remastered.
Yep, we'll talk about that in an upcoming one. But let's see what else we got. I mean, I really don't know. They're gonna come out with a new Thor, right? Like Thor 7 or whatever we're on now.
I think we're on the 4th one,
Yeah, we are.
but I don't think
I
that's
haven't
for a
even seen-
while, actually.
I haven't even seen Ragnarok yet.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
Dude, I already told you I'm a scrub.
Think
Ragnarok is pretty
buddy
good.
cop in space.
I love buddy cops in space.
Yeah, that is basically Thor Ragnarok. Thor and Hulk being buddy cops in outer space.
All right, don't ruin it for me.
Everybody dies.
All right, appreciate it. We did
It's
say
all a dream.
spoiler.
I'm surprised we haven't talked about like Ragnarok in the more recent like Marvel movies besides Black Panther. It's
Yeah,
like
let's
Got
see.
in a
Hold on.
they're getting
wormhole.
better. With every iteration, they're just like, oh yeah, we're like refining their freaking goddamn code for how to make a good Marvel movie, and like making
We
it
forgot
better.
about Captain Marvel. That's coming out next year.
Yes, one of the first like major females that is actually going to be like super powered. I
She
also
better be
like how
hot.
like Black Widow's right up
She
there on the
better
front
be
lines.
hot.
She better be
She'll
hot with big tits and a blonde. You know, just to follow
Well, that's
the
Captain
storyline.
Marvel.
Are we
That's the
right?
character.
Have you not looked at any of the pictures? They've already released pictures of what she looks like in her outfit.
Oh fuck
There's
yeah!
also
hold
like speculation that she's going to be in Infinity Wars because like somebody looked at a screenshot from Infinity War trailer and they're like, okay, so this little piece of clothing that you can see behind Thor, this kind of looks like Captain Marvel's outfit.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. I mean, not as big of tits, but I mean that'll do. She's still
Okay.
gorgeous. At least she's a hot blonde. So I guess I can't complain. So.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're just
It's gonna
about
be a good movie.
we're just about out of time though. To be honest.
Time to wrap it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So thank you for listening to me bitch for a few hours and argue
it's
with all
great.
my friends.
Dude, it's great.
Can we? We're back on schedule this week, right? This week we're
Yep.
returning to our
This Wednesday.
time.
Yeah, we
Catch
had
us on Wednesday.
we had a few things come
Yeah.
up, so we were MIA. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wednesday.
First off, we had freaking that one thing was Singles Awareness Day
Yep.
that happened, and
Mr.
then
Fluffy had a baby, so that was cool. So I was in labor.
Yeah.
I was
Yep. It's
literally
more
in
like a
labor,
food
he
baby.
says.
Yep. Yep. Literally in labor, so therefore could
those
not make
three
it. Sorry.
burritos did not produce a baby. Keep on trying to tell us that, but I'm going to say that that thing was not baby sized.
Yo, baby size. But anyways, appreciate it, guys, and as always, we'll catch you guys next Wednesday.